What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to another video where today I'm going to be showcasing you a team I went 10-0 with and have had some success with since then in the Go Battle League in the Love Cup. Medicham, Electrode, and Crustle is the team, and if you look at my current ELO right now, I'm at 3401 ELO, which is pretty crazy. Already almost passed our ending ELO of last season. There's still a little bit of season left to go. So without further ado, let's get into these battles. And this team has been really solid for me. It has the ability to overcome bad leads. And Medicham, just such a strong lead Pokemon, is going to win a lot of leads for you. So in this first battle, our opponent swaps in the Ariados, and we're able to kind of hard punish it here with our Crustle, our Smackdown user. And I'm going to go for a Rock Slide here because I know an X-Scissor won't KO. So this way, I either take it out or I draw the shield. Because worst case scenario is I bait and they don't shield. And then I basically just wasted that energy for no reason. But now I'm able to smack on down. I only had to match shield, which is good. Trying to eye if I think I can get to 2 X-Scissors. But I make sure to get this one off here. Doesn't do very much since we've been debuffed. That's all right. We've still got our Medi that can really just tank all this energy. In comes Slowbro and pretty much hard counter City against this opponent. I make sure to get off my discharge before they throw a Psychic just to make things a little bit easier for me. They shield Slowbro, but this is totally fine. I can even just, I don't even need to throw my discharge here because I don't want to give the Scrafty like a ton of farm. So I'm actually going to just commit to a farm down. It did look like my opponent lagged a little bit there, but I think we had it anyway. If they get one more confusion, our Electrode just survives that confusion and Hyper Beams the Scrafty anyway. So pretty straightforward. Game 1 win. And we're going to try and keep the games rolling. You see that other party I have. And the queue times have started to get a little crazy, so I may have to just fast forward a little bit in between some of these battles. Another great lead for Medi. In comes Electrode. Shadow Electrode, pretty cool. I try to catch the discharge. I'm unsuccessful. But I know this was only 4 volt switches. So I'm willing to tank the move. It's a foul play. That hurts. But I know I can tank it. And this is really important that we maintain switch advantage. So I'm willing to commit a shield here because I know I can volt switch down before the next charge move. Because he's 2 away, I believe. And might even get off a discharge against the Scrafty. But it's important that I maintain alignment, right? Because I need to keep my Medicham on the Scrafty. I don't want Crustle on Scrafty. It's a pretty terrible matchup for Crustle. Crustle Westbrook, as we named him on stream. Gonna get Medi in here. In comes Talon. I can just swap right away. And I actually decide that this Talon is so low that I'm just not gonna shield. Because if he Brave Birds me, then I can just counter down. So this way I can save a shield for Medi. And it's also giving less farm to the Scrafty. Because imagine if I shield that Flame Charge, the Scrafty could get like a massive farm and then maybe like power up punch and then double foul play and win the game. So I think it was important I let the Crustle go in that end game. Otherwise I might have still lost, even though it was pretty hard counter City. Hard counter lead, just had to make sure I won the secondary matchup and then hard counter in the back. And what's going on here? Oh yeah, I was showing chat. I've got a high rank Shadow Voltorb I caught, but I forgot to TM it during the Team Rocket event. It slipped my mind. Would have been nice to TM that Shadow. All right, so not a great lead here, but we have 2 better answers to this. So we swap into our Electrode. It looks like the lag was mutual. I'm gonna build up to the Hyper Beam here and bait. I think enough people are running Electrode that they're gonna respect the Hyper Beam, so it is a useful bait. We got the shield. They must be running the same moveset. And I know this has to be a discharge because I was ahead on energy. I'm going to go for a discharge as well. I'm really hoping I get the shield. I do get the shield, but I didn't think I would live that next Volt Switch, so I have to settle for a discharge here. And as you see, I did not live the next Volt Switch, so I would not have gotten to the Hyper Beam. I decided I'm going to eat the move here. He was still short of a Hyper Beam, so I knew this was just going to be another discharge. I'm up a shield. I wasn't able to take Switch. But even though there's an Alomomola here, I'm still okay because I know that a Talonflame is not going to want to eat a Psychic, especially after that Smackdown it took. That one Smackdown did a ton of damage. And all I need to do... Oh, actually, get off an X-Scissor here, which is huge. Makes my life a little bit easier. But the Alomomola hangs out with 1 HP, and I have to let this go through because the Talonflame is only 1 Incinerate away from a Brave Bird, so I cannot shield the Alomomola. That would have been a for sure loss if I do that. I have to save a shield here. They're going to just Flame Charge to try and ramp up their Incinerates. But as long as I'm less than 4 counters or less away, I should be good. And I'm only 3 counters away. And I get to the Psychic, and this should take out Talonflame for the win. So, not a great lead, but not a terrible lead. And we were able to flip it around. Couldn't take Switch advantage, but we were able to take Shield advantage, and that was enough to flip the game. Yeah, I also noticed on my hat, this is a hat I got for Christmas, there's a like a beer thing on the side. I'm from Milwaukee, beer is big here. And I thought like, oh no, is this like PG enough for my audience? And then I have to remind myself that my average demographic here on YouTube is 24 to 35 is the most common age demographic. Because when family or people like try and ask about my YouTube channel, like, oh, Chris, you still doing that Pokemon thing? Like they just assume it's like little kids that watch. And I'm sure there's some of you little guys out there, like under 16, teenagers and kids. But for the most part, over 50% of people that watch as we land the Hyper Beam on Scrafty. Let's go. And here I'm just going to commit to the Hyper Beam. This way I either take out 2 Pokemon or I get another shield. But yeah, over 50% of you that watch this channel are between the ages of 24 and 35. And then another maybe like 34% are either between 16 and 25 or 34 to 45. And then there's a small percentage of you that are over 45 or under 16. We sneak a Smackdown through, which is nice. And we shield the Brave Bird too. So we have a fully healthy Crustle against this dwindled, I'm not sure what the word I was looking for, Electrode. They realize it's over. So they just let it go through, and we take the win. So landing the Hyper Beam there against the Scrafty was absolutely massive. And that's why Electrode can be such an effective safe swap. Even if they swap in like a Grass type, for example, you have that Hyper Beam coverage where you're likely either going to get a shield from them or take back Switch advantage. So I really like Electrode as a safe swap here in the Love Cup. Not showing too much love with how much damage that Hyper Beam does. Let's try and fast forward to our next match. Oh yeah, Niantic gave us an air. We were searching all the... Oh, look at that! Wait a sec. One of you guys in the chat, in the comments, told me to stop rewinding. Because you didn't like that when I like break things down. But I think most of you guys are fine with it. Look at this. Air finding match, right? That happens sometimes. I press battle and we're in the battle. And I'm like trying to figure out what happened. So I'm like, okay, I think he swapped in his Octillery. So hopefully we're not too far behind on energy. And this could make a good YouTube short. Go for a discharge here. Take it out. This was pretty poor timing here. I should have thrown after 2 or after 1 is ideal, but I threw after 3 for some reason, so poor timing there. But I do still get to another discharge, which is good. Now the Magcargo probably has to shield to preserve all this energy. Gets a big farm down. I'm going to come in with Medi. I snuck in an entire counter, so our opponent lagged for a turn. I respected the overheat. He rocked to me. I come in with Crustle, and this should pretty much be game over. And this isn't necessarily a bait. I kind of explained this when I was live streaming. This isn't so much of a bait as just me knowing that I can get to 2 X scissors here, and I can only get to 1 rock slide. So this way I guarantee to take it out, versus if they shield a rock slide, this Wiggly would be pretty dang healthy still, and it would put me in a much tougher position. I shield the play rough, knowing that a play rough is going to do more than an overheat would, and I counter down Cargo for the win. Still rocking the Bidoof hat, rocking the Delibird gloves. Get a Skuntank reward. And let's see. Claim our rewards. We're up to 3274 after that 5-0, so a big climb there. About 70 points. And look who it is. It's Softoph. Shout out to her. Soph, if you're watching this, I forgot you were in this video. No disrespect. Not that you're forgetful. I'm sorry. Looks like she's going straight pup with the Medi, so I know I don't need to shield this. I am going to go for a Hyper Beam here. I overfarmed by 1 just to maybe throw her off, that I didn't go directly for the Hyper Beam, and I actually landed. That's a huge land. I wasn't sure if I could live this pup or not. I don't think so. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, so that was a good shield. There's no way I would have lived the pup from that health right there. I get off a discharge here against Talonflame, which is really nice, because she probably has to respect this, yeah, with the shield. So now shields are even, but this Tal has a ton of energy, and this is similar. Oh, man. Yeah, I respected the Brave Bird, and there's Licky in back, so we should be okay here. We still have a very healthy Crustle, and down a shield, Licky, I'm sure, wins this, but Medi just needs to be able to do enough damage where Crustle can just smack it on down without having to eat like a Power Whip or something. So we're in a pretty good situation. Just gotta get off this pup. This will probably grab the last shield. No, doesn't grab the last shield since you knew it was a pup, I guess. Oh, that's right. And Soph goes for a Galaxy Brain play, lets the Licky go down so she can try and incinerate me down, and then Brave Bird the Crustle. But I recognized what she was trying to do. Like, really smart play here, right? Like, how many of you, be honest? How many of you, be honest, in the comments would have thought to do this? I think 90% of people would have just thrown the body slam there, try to take out my Medi, try and get off damage against Crustle. But no, she lets the Licky go down, and she tries to incinerate me down so she can one-shot my Crustle with a Brave Bird. But I recognize the situation. I just throw this pup to stall the clock, and at that point, 2 smackdowns is enough to KO the Talon. But yeah, that was hilarious when it happened live, because I didn't realize I was playing Soph, and I was like complimenting that play of the battler, and and Soph's a friend of the channel, a friend of mine, I can say, and then chat told me afterwards, like, that was Soph, and she hopped in. That was a funny moment, which is a plug for my Twitch. If you guys aren't following me on Twitch, feel free to go check me out there. You can interact with me live. That's kind of the draw of Twitch. The draw of YouTube is all this content, all these awesome videos, just on demand whenever you want. Twitch, you can interact with people live, whether it's the streamer or the friends in chat. A tough lead here against Wiggly. I'm going to go into Electrode, and this is not great for Electrode, but it's better than Medi. Opponent actually catches our discharge on the Macargo, and maybe they were trying to catch a Hyper Beam, but it was a nice catch nonetheless. And Macargo, this opponent must have been in this situation before, because they know that their Cargo can tank 2 discharges. Definitely going to come in here with Medi. I should be able to counter down before he gets to a move, which is nice. I like kind of get caught in between here. Like I was like, do I save the energy or do I throw the energy to get my Crustle in? And luckily I got a shield. That shield is huge, even though I was still one off the Psychic. And now I'm just going to commit to the Rock Slide because people tend to not like to commit a shield when they're already down a shield. So I land the Rock Slide, and now I should be able to just smack on down this Electrode. I think it's still one away from another discharge. Yeah, so I smack it down first. And now the Wiggly's going to have to expend energy, and by that point our Medi should be able to finish it off. And Medi doesn't do that bad against Wiggly because Medi's tanky enough where the charms, they don't do like an insane amount. They still do a lot, don't get me wrong, but tanky enough where it can survive quite a few charms, and you're dealing neutral damage since Wiggly is also part normal type. That's kind of the give and the take with Wiggly. As a charmer, you're like also really good against the ghost types because you have that normal typing, but then you're not quite as good against the fighters. Medi, great lead. I swap Electrode here, and this is a little bit uncomfortable because Seeking as a safe swap, if you guys have a triple legacy Seeking, I recommend you use it. With that drill run coverage, you make it really uncomfortable for the electric user because they've got to respect that drill run. I sneak in a Volt Switch here, which is massive. Now I should be able to Volt Switch down without having to throw another discharge. I come out with all this energy. I am debuffed, so I'm going to go just straight for the Hyper Beam. I don't expect to shield here since Gnaw Dog the Razor knows that we have a Medi waiting for the Scrafty. And I get off a discharge. Look at Electrode, our Hundo Electrode. No, those are not the recommended IVs. It's just what I have. Puts in all this work. And check this out. I think... Oh, no. Okay, I was going to say I'd probably go straight into Crustle, anticipating the swap, but no. I went into Medi, then Crustle, was ready for the swap out, and you'll see this matchup is not super comfortable for Crustle. I guess because our opponent is up a shield, but 2 lunges like very nearly KOs. I get the shield with an X Scissor. I felt like he kind of had to shield, you know, at this point in the game. I take the lunge. Come on, Crustle. Simul KO. That's actually best case scenario. Because, let's say it had like Mega Horn. If it somehow farmed me down Mega Horn and then Foul Play, I guess that's the win con. But most people run Cross Poison. I'm doubtful that he was running Mega Horn anyway. And it's on to the next one. Let's see. Who's up next? We've got Paco. Paco. All right, another Talonflame lead. Let's see if we can try and take back Switch here. Swap in Electrode. In comes Medi. And you guys have seen what I like to do here. This was not enough for the Psychic. Yeah, and I'd like to just try and throw them off a little bit by going up to 6th. So that way it's more like I'm doubling up on Discharge rather than going straight for the Hyper Beam, if that makes sense. And this is the one I was thinking of, where I wasn't sure if that Volt Switch through would KO or not. And it did KO, and I totally would have lived that power-up punch. So that's kind of like a wasted shield. But, you know, I probably wouldn't have lived the Incinerate. So we'll say it didn't really matter, because I get the shield back from the discharge. Come in Crustle. And I think I might let this go. No. I save it because 2 Pokemon is better than 1. And this is the same team as the Softove team. Let's see if this trainer of Paco makes the same Galaxy brain play as Soph. Or if this plays out a little differently. Plus I got a pal in my gal's game. In fact, she's the one singing the song that's playing. Hey, girl. I've got Akon and Eminem I'm listening to. Another pup coming through. Gets the shield this time. And yeah, this is game over. Because Licky threw like pretty much right away. I don't think it gets to a Power Whip here. So I'm just going to farm down. was just at the body slam. And then just to cement our 10-0 run, a little bit of trolling. We undercharged the X-Scissor. And we smacked down for the win. Very unnecessary. But sometimes you just gotta have some fun with it. And yeah, that's all she wrote. So thank you guys so much for the support lately. The last video did extremely well with Crawdaunt and Ariados, so I appreciate all of y'all. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, comment anything you'd like down below. All comments help us out over here, help our video get out there on people's recommended feeds. Subscribe if you're new. We're almost at 30K. We're approaching that mark, so a nice little milestone that we're close to. And all that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.